What's up, peoples? How y'all doing? Welcome. Celtics be balling. Celtics be balling. Celtics be balling podcast. Thank you for joining me. This is your host Marlon, and I'm just gonna quickly talk about the game we had last night. On MLK Day, and I was watching. I'm sorry. I said I was watching. I was watching the game, but then like almost halftime. I was like, oh shoot, I haven't listened to Sean Grady and Cedric Maxwell in a long time. I think it was like maybe one time this season. So I was like, okay. So I did that, and like say like the end, almost at the end maybe. Yeah, it was the end because it was a pretty exciting game. But he was like being his MLK Day, and okay. Hmm. The Suns just beat what was they just beat? Or just got beat by shoot. I'm not even do that. But it was just showing something. My fault. I'm all distracted. But basically, he was saying, look up this gentleman. He was an activist, Curtis Flood. So after I listened to after the game, whatever, I actually did look him. I heard the name, but I didn't know like a lot about him or nothing really about him except that he was basically while we have free agency right now, he refused to get traded to and excuse me, I'm gonna be looking down. I might be reading a little bit. So just so y'all can look up the information. He has a book, and give me a second. No, I'm gonna be looking down a lot. So, but I just wanted to really like because like I said, it's not MLK Day no more, but this is podcast that would have been on yesterday, and I still have two podcasts. I still have two pods in the vault I haven't dropped yet. If you watch, well, I ain't dropped it yet, but the second one it will make more sense when I'm like, oh, I haven't dropped the first one, but I did this another one. But at least I'm trying to like I'm making more. I'm being more consistent. It's just I want to try because I just been like making my last ones, and before like I was saying like before, say it was like 40 minutes podcast. Now it's basically taking like an hour to like convert, which is crazy. It's like I can understand it was like an hour and a half or whatever, but even like videos say like 30 minutes. I think my first one was like 37 minutes and it took like an hour to change. I'm like, damn. And then when I started editing it, since I haven't edited in a while, I forgot to do like certain little things. So that's why I haven't dropped those. But I got two more in the vault for y'all. Don't worry. So like I said, I'm trying to be more consistent out here. I went live, so I had to actually like look up certain things and like read for my pod and stuff like that. But give me 1 second. Like I said, he got a book, and I was thinking about. I looked it up on Amazon. You could get it like pretty cheap. It's a book. I want to say I had like a weird price that when I kept going, I showed it for like maybe I really don't remember. But I think I seen it for like maybe $28 on Amazon. But let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to find out the name of the book. So so at least if y'all want more information, and this information is from Wikipedia, so take it for what it is. Wikipedia, you could add anything or whatever. But I don't want to keep like having dead air, especially like I'm live. Although I don't think no one's like in here paying attention. I'm not sure how this goes. You know, but I'm gonna give you a little information about this gentleman. His real name is Curtis Charles Flood Sr. And what's today's date? His His birthday is his birthday is in 2 days. He was born in January 18th, 1938, and he passed on 2 days after his birthday, January 20th, in 1987. He was a center fielder who played 15 season in the major league for, check this name out. It was called the Cincinnati Redlegs. Right? Cincinnati Redlegs. That's a weird name. Redlegs. Then he also played for, but remember all these names, like they like it was what, the Brooklyn Dodgers or something like that. So like back in the day. And St. Louis Cardinals, and then the Washington Senators. So he played for those three teams. Dude was a pretty awesome dude as far as major league career. He won like two of them championships. He was a three-time All-Star. He won a Gold Glove 7 consecutive times. If you do something once, that's good. Twice, that's real good. 3 times, like damn, you're awesome. But 7 times consecutively in a row, you own that. That's you doing the damn thing. You know what I mean? Over 6 seasons, he batted almost 300. Well, it said 300, so he's a pretty dope dude. He said he led the National League in hits 211 in 1964, and in singles in 1963, 64, and 68. He led the National League in singles. Sorry. Flood also led the National League in pullouts as a center fielder 4 times, and fielding percentage as it says as center fielder, but as a center fielder 3 times. He retired with the third most games in center field, 1,683 in the national. In the national, it says NL history. I'm trying to like correct stuff while I'm reading it. I should just read it right. Trailing only on Willie Mays and Richie Ashburn. So it says he retired with the third most games in center field. Like I said, 1,683 behind. Y'all know Willie Mays. I haven't heard of Richie Ashburn, but sure he's probably another like one of those top cats. Well, he has to be if he's second or first. You feel me? Behind most games played in center field. So kudos to those guys. And it says also Flood became one of the most. This is why Flood was named. Well, because I said it. Not because I said it, but he was an activist, and that's why he was basically known for, like I said, for getting the free agency started. But he went to the Supreme Court in 19. Well, it started in 1969, but it said he didn't win, but just like basically got the ball rolling, to like change, and said the basic. I think it was the first free agency. I've read this, but I'm not gonna go through all of this. But it basically came, and I said, don't fact check me, or please fact check me, I should say. In 1975. So he started in 1969 when I say he refused to go to, I think, Philadelphia, because he was like saying like Philadelphia was like had racist fans and their stadium wasn't up to par, so he didn't want to play in a trashy stadium. And I believe his what the team he was on, it was pretty good up at the time. I'm not sure why he got traded, but I said I read a little, but it didn't say why he got traded. It just said a bit. I think it was him and 2 other players on his team, but he was like, I ain't going to that sucky ass team. Y'all got me tripping. So check because they call him Kirk Flood, but his, like I said, his government is Curtis Flood Senior. But if you put, because I put when they say Kirk, you can spell Kirk. All right, but it's Kurt. It's Kurt. I'm saying it all wrong. It's Kurt Flood. Curtis Flood. I was saying IRK, which Kirk is Curtis. You know how people with shots sing. I said things fast on him, but his name Curtis Flood Senior. Check him out. And I said that's what Brady wanted to mention. Grady, I'm messing up everybody's name. Sean Grady from the radio. When the Celtics game be going on, him and Max be doing the radio play by play. So that was interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I might get the book. And let me scroll down a little bit and see if I could find the book title for y'all. Because and like I really do want to read the book because they describe the book. I never even heard this. I don't know if I heard the word, but I had to look up the word. Basically, the word that they described it, I'm like, that's different. So I had to look it up. So when it was like basically they were saying he was like trying to like find a good word, being like he was talking not bad, like aggressively against the system. Basically saying you to me, you go against the system, and that cost him his career. I think they said he played like 6 more games after he didn't play that year. Now I think the following year he came back and played like 6 games. Then he was like, "I'm out of here," and retired. But he kind of knew, you know. But people was behind him, and he said the reason why he did this because this, like I said, this happened in 1969. But throughout the 60s, it was like more like a lot of black consciousness. So he was like riding that wave, and he was like basically they like I was on the team doing what I was supposed to do. I fulfilled my part, but he was like basically like it was like on some slavery stuff because y'all just not thinking about the players. Y'all just gonna be like, oh, go play in Alaska. Don't know nobody in Alaska, bro. I gotta root my family up and go to Alaska. My kids going to school and all that stuff. So kudos to him. Anyone watching this is really why I want to do the podcast. Like give Kirk Flood his kudos because anyone who stand up, he's like, it will be Colin Kaepernick will be the modern day version of because Kaepernick pretty much knew, although he asked the questions, which is still crazy to me. Like he asked who was supposed to ask what to do. These guys gave him a guideline. He did it, and he still got backlash. This is the same NFL. I remember one of the NFL players. He was fighting in war. He got deceased by friendly fire, but they didn't say that at the beginning. It was like maybe like I don't know, like it wasn't months, maybe like a couple seasons later. They were saying this is what happened, but they were saying they got attacked. Basically, they were saying it was like a whole like I think like they attacked his platoon or something, and they try to make him basically a hero. And you're a hero if you're fighting for your country. So I give you that right there. You're a hero right there, my guy. And like it happened like in the 90s or 2000, early 2000s, say early 2000s or what, 2000s. I'm not sure. So he's pretty young. It's not like way back in the day he knew, but he had the money because, like I said, he was in an NFL, but he stopped playing to go. So you got to give somebody props like that. You don't have to do it. What you got to do? Nothing. But I give people props like that. Just like I said, Kaepernick. You know, somebody got to be a martyr. A lot of people ain't brave like that. But kudos to him. That's why I want to shed light to him because that was dope. And if y'all don't know, some people might not know. Y'all think free agency just popped up because it was being nice and stuff. You feel me? But everything got to go through a process. Oh, I might have. Okay, so let's read this last one because this I kind of spoke wrong. But it says later action developments. So, despite the loss in the Supreme Court, Baseball Players Union continued to push to eliminate the reserve clause. It was finally struck down in December 1975 in a case involving players Dave McNally and Andy Mustersmith. Sorry for jacking up your name, whoever out there related to these folks. And then it says in July 1967, I'm sorry, July 1966, the union and the baseball team owners agreed to a contract that included free agency. So it, it got struck down, like the case, whatever. And then, they finally, in July, they finally agreed to it. Jeez. And then it said he also helped bring in the 10-5 rule, also known as the Kirk Flood rule. The rule states that when a player has played for a team for 5 straight years and played in it doesn't say it, but it says in the MLB for a total of 10 years, they have to give the club their consent to be traded. So it's just like basketball. Like freaking, what's a good example? Who had a trade clause? Like whatever superstar had a trade clause. Was it James Harden had a a contract clause that you can't just throw me anywhere? What I like it does it's really like something that they don't put in contracts because it's hard. But I'm trying to think. Was it Melo? It wasn't Kawhi because Kawhi got shipped to Toronto, did the damn thing. But I'm trying to think who was it? Who was it? Kevin Durant. I believe it was Kevin Durant because it said only like maybe 4 players had this. So maybe it was Kevin Durant. And basically, like, you could trade me, but to the team I want to go. I don't know if it has to be like maybe 3 teams, and then you could like choose what team out of the 3, whatever. I'm not sure, or I'm not going nowhere unless it's this specific team. I'm not sure how it goes, but he also got that rule. Like I said, that was named the Kurt Flood rule. After your applications, you can't just send me anywhere. That's pretty dope of him. I mean, he's seen it wrong and he tried to make it right. That's all us as peoples can do. You know what I mean? That's what make you an upstanding man, in my opinion. Try to make change. Don't be a follower. But then when you're not a follower, people look at you strange, right? You're the oddball. But keep doing your thing. Long as you're not an oddball, keep doing your thing. Oh yeah, they're gonna talk about you regardless. I'm sorry, I'm looking down, but I'm really trying to find the book so I could personal life, death, retirement. Hold on, because I don't want to be on this too long, and I have even talked about a game, but I just want to. I'm surprised I'm looking through all this and doesn't. Oh, I say he did win 2 chips. He won a championship. I'm not sure the team in 1964. They came back again in 1967. So he did the damn thing. So my man, he wasn't no bummy player. Like, oh, my man was out there balling. You feel me? Out there doing a damn thing. But he was like, man, nah, ain't gonna have me out here just sending me anywhere you want to send me. What the heck? Grown ass man. And I'm gonna try to check one more time. I'm gonna find it because I really wanna, really wanna tell you the book because it's 4 words, but I don't want to just throw out any title. And like, what the hell, bro? But let me do it like this. Let me do it like this. Let's say for the look of dead silence, I apologize. I apologize. For the look of dead silence, I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. Okay, here we go. And oh, okay, here it is. And see if I go like this way, landscape. So the book that that he wrote whatever about the case is called The Way It Is. And let me go this way because it's tiny. Okay, here we go. And let's see. I know I have to and then I think it's upside down. I don't know because when I'm looking at the reflection, you might be reflecting the right way, but like I said the book is called The Way It Is by Kirk Flood, and you could get it actually, but this is from the thrift, thrift book, thrift book. We up here so right there so even if but it's called the thrift books and it's for like I say 12.79, but the ones I seen was more expensive, but you know check it out. Oh, they see, like it says collectible 20. I don't know why I keep doing it because y'all really can't see it, but it says collectible. I don't know, like I don't know. Maybe, I was about to say maybe he signed it. Maybe he just signed a whole bunch of books. Now they trying to make profit of this dead man penmanship. But check it out, man. And even if you don't want to get the book, um, Wikipedia and they got some other stuff. I didn't even see this yesterday, but they have a couple stuff on YouTube. So I don't know if it's actually a video of him talking, but I like when I was like searching, I seen YouTube stuff. I just seen like two YouTube pages. Like I said, I didn't click it, but maybe he's talking about it, you know. And another weird stuff, just this like because we're talking about MLK. So like when they show like those pictures of Martin Luther King and like freaking Malcolm X, you know how those pictures are in like black and white. You know why they do that? And in 1960 they had colored, right? They had color stuff. But they do that to like mess with your brain, to mess with your mind, to make it seem like it was such a long time ago. Now it's like stretched out. But when I was growing up, say in the 80s, even in the 80s, I'm like, in the 80s, I was, say, 84, 83, I came up here. I was 7 years old, going on 8. So the 60s was like right there. And if I'm in school, when I was in high school, in the 90s, 60 was like, what, 30 years? So, and they showing you black and white pictures. All they was making color pictures then, but they trying to show you like say, oh, it was so long ago, but it wasn't because our parents grew up in the '60s. But a lot of us, like say, I'm from the islands, and I'm not. It's not an excuse. I don't know like how black folks do it. So I know some of them talk about it, but like they never like mentioned it. And like I've heard people like talk about it, like say on shows, whatever. Like oh, they remember coming home and their parents, So some people talk about it, but I wish like that was part of the thing. But then you find out certain things and this and that, and the whole message, people still get the message wrong. The man said like, "I led my people astray." That's how you know people just be followers. Like I literally like that's one of like my first. I didn't know was an activist. I just like to read, but I don't know if it's still there. But I read MLK book. But me, I'm an aggressive person. I try not to be now because get you in trouble. But after I read that, and then because he was like a reverend, so I'm like, I don't, I really have a distrust for reverends. People would be because they be not saying he was, but a lot of people be false prophets. So I was more like Malcolm X, he's more physical. You feel me? And then come to find out, like Mr. The man said, and lead the people astray. Y'all don't even get that. A lot of people don't get that. They don't mention that. But this is not even about that podcast. I spent 25 minutes talking about that, but I did want to talk about that. So there you go. Curtis Flood. Look him up. Now on to the game. It was a crazy game, right? Back and forth. We went up like 14 at one time. They came up like 9. It was a crazy game. Very good game. One time, like maybe in the third quarter or something like that, when they went up, I'm like, oh, okay, we might lose. But then always, like I said before, like I've been like, I always expect this. Not say I always expect to win, not that we're gonna win. Like our schedule coming up for the rest of the month is wow. And I'll say this right now if I don't make another pod. So we playing Spurs Wednesday at home. Ah, see, let me see. I'm gonna check it out because I really this the rest of the schedule is crazy. We playing the Clippers, Houston, um, Dallas. So it's a pretty tight schedule coming up. I just wanted to see like the schedule. Okay, schedule. Alright, hold on. Give me a second. Which way we going? Alright. Okay, so both games are at home. I just want to double check. So we playing the Spurs, then Denver. We playing at home. We're a new look team, but I think Denver beat us the last 2 times, or maybe I know the last time beat us, and I know it was like on some old last minute shot. I mess with Denver. I like Jokic. Like I like people who get their team involved, and he's like literally the first like center point. Like Jokic is so awesome. They played earlier, played Philly. I started watching the game late. I knew it was coming on, but I thought it was like 8 o'clock. So when I started, it was like the end of the going on to the end of the third or first. I'm sorry. Then I had to like skedaddle for a quick. Came back in, but the thing is, well, Minowan, well, the game over. So I was about to say Minowan taught the game, but at halftime, they both put up like 71 points. I'm like, hold up. That's why I was like, yo, I gotta watch this game from the beginning. It's crazy. So it's about to be 12. I know OKC and the Clippers is playing right now. It was halftime when I started making it. So what I said, I got the Denver Philly. Just the fact that scoring was crazy. I'm like, they both scored 71 points? That is wild. That is wild. And then like they was both out of foul trouble. And then like at the end, Jokic picked up a couple and B picked up a couple. So I'm like, seemed like an interesting game. Go back and watch it. Two MVPs last 2 years going at it. Freaking Jokic. I mean not Jokic, freaking Joe ducked the smoke last year. Talk about, oh, I'm sick. I can't play. That's how I think he that's how I think he will sound. Like I can't play. I am sick. My knees. I am a big guy. My knees be swelled. I think how my accent. How my African accent. My knees. I am a big man. I have big knees. They swell. Then I can't run up and down the court. Oh man, I'm talking about everything but the game. But weird thing about the game, there was like both him and Joel and Joker have like not a lot of dunks, which is it's not surprising, but it's surprising because they both. It's surprising on Joel Park because Joel Love used to like dunk on people everywhere, but at the same time he loves shooting threes. So it's like he do love to dunk, but now he's not doing it as much, I guess, because they say they have between them they have the fuse between bigs, I guess, something like that. When y'all watch the broadcast, you'll hear them, and then it might be like, oh yeah, that's what he was talking about. But so we played the Spurs, Denver at home. Spurs, that's what Wimby, first time in the Garden. We're gonna show out. Wimby, they said this man had 9 dunks in one half. Like I know he's like what 7'4", 7'5", but still, this man had like I know like that's what he's supposed to do, but think about it. One person have 9 dunks. Usually, the team might get if they balling out, they might get 5, 6 dunks as a team. Two, now I mean like Jalen might get 2, Tatum might get 1, 2, White might get 1, KP might get 1, 2, so we might get 6. Holiday might get surprise you with a dunk. You feel me? The thing low on not the fly on fiesta, Chuck. But to have 9 dunks for one person, it's crazy. But saying that, I don't think we're gonna let a record slip against them. You never know. But I'll pen down the Spurs as a win. Now, Denver, they coming in the Garden. I don't know if we're gonna win that game. It's gonna be hopefully everybody's there because Jalen missed the last game. So hopefully everybody on both sides. Murray, I believe, just came back a couple. I'm not sure how long, but Murray's back. But I'm sure he probably still working his way. I'm not sure how he's playing. That's why I want to watch it, the game, see see what's going on. Because Denver is not first in the West, but they are the champs. But then beat this real quick. So we have three, four. Let me do it again. Three. So we got 8. We got 8 games for the remainder of January, right? So let me run it down real quick. Like I said, we got the Spurs, the Nuggets on Friday. We got the Rockets Sunday, Monday, January 22nd. We have the Mavericks coming. The Mavericks at the Mavericks. So okay, so we got 2 home games. Then we go to Texas for 2 games. We're gonna play the Rockets and Dallas. Then we go to Miami for a game. So we got 3 games on the road. Then we come back to end January with 3 home games. But the 3 home games at the end of the month are against the Clippers, against the Pelicans, and then like the Pacers. That's the Pacers. These there, man. There's 4 games. Like the Clippers are gonna be a hard game. I think we beat them last time. I'm not saying we're gonna beat them, but when that game comes, then I'll be like more. I want to watch the game because both sides quiet and all that, and it's gonna be an exciting game. But the games that like say I circle for the rest of the month, Pacers, the Heat, of course, we beat them the first game of the year, so they're gonna be thinking about that. Going to play them. Then Dallas, I think Dallas beat us the last shot, the last 2 games. So can't wait. And then Kyrie, and freaking Doncic dropped. They both dropped 40 the other night. I think yesterday, or I believe it was yesterday, but they dropped 40, both of them. I'm like, wow, that's wild. That is wild. So the like I said, the Heat, the Mavericks, and Denver. Those 3 games out of the 8, and it's just because of personal reasons. And did I mention and the Pacers? So that's 4. 1, 2, Denver. Oh, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the Nuggets, Dallas, the Heat and the Pacers the last game, which is the 30th of the end, like it's ending in the month. So we'll see. Got some good challenge. It's a good challenge coming up. See how we fare well. I know Denver, gonna come and wanna break our streak because if we beat the Spurs, will be 20 at home, 20 and 0 at home. That's dope as hell. And that's the second best. No, we're the first. Think about it. The Celtics been around since 1946. 1946. And this is the first time we won 19 games straight. Before that, we won, I think it was 2 times we won 17. So kudos to the current team, man. Jalen, everybody, y'all balling out. Balling out. Balling out. Balling out. Word. But the game, like I said, up and down. That's like I like. Oh shoot. It's like a reflection. It's like if you do it live, you know. And the thing send me to have some crumb. I can't have my mouth on thing. And I say, yo, man, have some crack crumbs. I know people be talking crazy. Like cracks over here, big crumbs like that or whatever. Like, yo, he out here chewing on crack. Yo. Those folks be wild. And, I just be, having jokes and stuff. But the game. Good game. Quickly started. He been there for 8 games. He started for all 8 games. Him and Barrett dropped, I think, 21, 22. He never started no games in New York. So shout out to him. I read an article that quickly said, basically, he found out by his agent. His agent called him, I think, when he was on road game. That's how he found out. And then, like, think about it, being in the state and moving just from one neighborhood to like across town, how big a difference that is. Or let's say even this. I live in Mass, Springfield. So say from Springfield to Boston or Worcester, whatever. Those are the 3, big whatever to call it. It's Boston, Worcester, and then Springfield. So and Springfield is, it's pretty big itself. I think Worcester is small, so I don't even understand how, but that's how that goes. But I'm not sure. But that is not that. This man, he's going to a whole different freaking country. Country, what's up? I think country different. Yeah, country. You got to cross the border. So he said right now he's like getting more kind because he like the organization is real family orientated. But he said when he first got there, he was like kind of lost. He said it's still kind of in a fog. I'm just going by the article. I will give the article prop writer some props, but I cannot find it right now, or I don't want to find it right now. I'm trying to be off like 10 minutes. I just wanted to be on here like 20 minutes to get Curtis Flood in. Kirkit's Flood in. But he was saying basically he don't know nothing. He wanted to get some food after the game or something. Like he basically wanted to get some food, but he didn't know where to go. But at the same time, I understand. I'm sure he figured it out. Like, damn, it's in that moment. Like, I don't know where to go, but I'm sure. I'm like, bro, you could just call it TV. So hopefully he didn't just sit there hungry. Like, go bed hungry. I didn't think they just drink some water. I didn't think that. Like, come on, dog. And you got Grubhub and all that. So even if you don't know, but still, if you don't know, you could call. I'm sure there's McDonald's and blah 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 there. I don't know if it's set up, but I'm sure he figured out. But I can understand, like because it's like going to like when I go like different places, I don't know where to eat. If I drop off, so when I'm in the cabin, I drop off somebody on like one of the Boston like hospitals downtown Boston or whatever, and I want to try something. I don't know nothing unless it's like I say, unless it's McDonald's. I don't know where to go. Maybe it's a Jamaican spot or whatever near where I'm at, but I don't know because I'm not from that area. So like that's kind of wild. But he says he's getting used to it. RJ is from Canada, so he's happy to be home. Because he says now that his family could attend the games before they couldn't in New York. So I'm happy for both of them. Hopefully work out for both of them. But I figure RJ will enjoy it because I'm like I don't know why. Maybe Sally Crap. I don't know. But RJ from last year in the playoffs, because I watched both playoffs. Last year in the playoffs, he improved. He wasn't scared. He was getting bucks. He was doing his thing. So I'm like, from I seeing him improve in the playoffs, I'm like, okay, he's gonna improve, maybe slowly, and then I'm like, he might need to go someplace else just for a clear start. And what's better than going back home in RJ case? So hopefully, it works out for you. Hopefully, it works out. But we beat them again. And you know what happened last time we beat them? That's how the trade came. So we beat them. Now they're talking about I think Indiana talking about um a minute, I'm blanking out. Freaking Siakam. Pascal Siakam. He's in his last year of his 4-year contract. So and the deadline come up in February. So and last time we beat them, team got broken up. So this is probably gonna happen again. I mean, motherfuckers gonna get traded. That's what we do. Sorry. But it's a shakeup. It's a time for a shakeup because you know sometimes, like I said, change is not bad. Change is part of life. Shouldn't be scared of change. I mean, it's scary. Could be scary, but if you embrace it, if you like new things, you know what I mean. It's a good thing. But I wrote down these different notes and stuff. But Pascal made it fifth on the list in the most game played in Toronto. He passed Chris Bosh. That was like, oh wow, he been there that long, or Chris Bosh. But I thought Chris Bosh played there longer. I think that and eight Pascal. Wow, Pascal, that's incredible. He played there for 8 seasons. So that in itself, that's like dope. So I say he played what, I'm not sure if it's 110 when we played the Celtics or if he played since we played him. So I mean, but it was 509 games to take the fifth spot from Chris Bosh for playing in Toronto, because Chris Bosh, and they had like freaking Chris Carter, Vince Carter. So that's the Toronto folks. I think they had no, that's from the Grizzlies. I was gonna say Big Country, but I think the Grizzlies drafted him. But kudos to him. But so he played for 8 seasons on one team, so he might be looking to get out of there too. You feel me? I seen one article, which is weird, and like I kind of felt what you're saying, but then I still get that feeling when we play Toronto, regardless of who they play, especially when they had freaking Kyle Lowry and DeRozan. They gave us problems, bro. Problems. So I think it was from. This is from Bleacher Report. I think it was from the Celtics Junkie account. I think that's what it is. So I'm trying to give you your kudos, whatever. But it said like basically, I remember when beating Toronto was like a top 10 feeling in sports, and I still feel like beating Toronto was that, because basically you gotta think about, you're going across the border, so your whole day or whatever you get there is interrupted. I'm not sure how if we ever play. No, actually think about it, because we played. This was Monday, right? We played Monday and we played Saturday. So basically, we had between one travel day, because if we played Saturday and the game was Monday and the game was in the night, I think it was 7 o'clock, 7:30. So after that game, you have to like whatever Everybody have to have their passport and everything. So just that one day is hectic. So imagine just uprooting your whole life, going to a different, like I said, it could be exciting, but it's scary. I'm sure he good because he got money, so he's not worried about whatever it was. Just you know, it's like I said, it's different. But he said he's getting more familiar, so that's kudos to him. And this is fading, so the battery is dying, but it shouldn't because it's been on the charger like all day. But let me see. Yeah, my battery is dying. It's like 16 minutes before it's dead. It's crazy. So, but basically, I'm talking about the game. Not too much we want to talk about. I say it was a nice back and forth game. Oh, Tatum went crazy. Tatum went crazy, and the Tatum's basically the one that I think that saved us the game. And then White chipped in 10 points in the fourth quarter. But Tatum went bonkers in that third quarter. He went bonkers, yeah, because that's when these dudes took the lead back and was like trying to manhandle us. But Tatum, I think they said he had 6 rebounds the most in the third quarter in his career. He had 14 boards. That's what I mean, strong. He had 19 going into the fourth. He didn't score in the fourth quarter, but he sat 6 minutes in the before he came in. Because I had to look at it again. I'm like, hold up. Tatum had 19. He ended up the game with 19. But then when I went to watch it again, he sat to like 6:36 or something like that. I know it was like 6 and change before he came back in. He didn't score, but he still impacted the game. Still did a thing. And shout out the whole squad because like Hauser, Peyton, White, that last three, even Holiday, those three we hit, there was like all those threes, it was like either the game was up by a one or down by 1 or 2. So all those threes it was timely. It was timely as heck. All those true was like, whoo! It was like going up 3. It was like get back in the game type 3. So like shout outs to y'all. Shout outs to you, Tatum. You took over in the third quarter, my boy. We needed that. I mean, you came through for us. White came through, which it was weird. White had a weird game, right? He started off good. He was like 4 for 4 from the 3. Then he couldn't make a shot, couldn't make a layup. He missed like 7, 8 shots in a row. But then he kept shooting, got that dagger 3. That last 3 he made and I watched that play like 3, 4 times because it was so dope. It was so dope. Because freaking Tatum got the ball after I think Al played good too. Shout out Al. I think Al had a double-double. Shout out to you, Al. I never give you kudos, but you solid. Gotta give you more props, Big Al. But Al grabbed the boards, or Tatum grabbed the boards, one of them. Tatum brought the ball back, brought the ball down. Holiday was trailing, started moving around. KP was in the corner. Oh shoot, yep, I'm definitely about to go because it's about to die. KP was at the 3.9 in the corner, but he was like had his hand like okay, and even KP was a physical game and back and forth. That's the games I like. KP was tired as hell, but he kept doing the thing. And KP showed me like his defense is better than I thought. His recovery, like at one time it was like almost at the top of the key, and he still got back and like blocked the ball. I know it's difficult because like it takes footwork. And even though he's like a big dude, it take like angles and all that not to foul. So everybody was doing the damn thing. Holiday was doing his thing. Holiday scored 22, the most he had for us this season. But that corner 3, the setup, the thing is like I watch it, I'm like, hold up, did he point out? I like, because the thing is what I kept rewinding it, and then I rewind it because it was so dope. Because Al was on the right hand side corner near the bench of their the Raptors. Then White was like, then White was like, come over. So then White faded off in the corner. Freaking Holiday drew his man out. Then KP was like coming over, then going like towards the basket. But then I don't know if Tatum was gonna give him the ball, but he pointed to White in the corner. So soon, and he did it like you know what I mean? And then freaking Tatum, that pass was like, ooh, that pass had a long way to go. Ooh, that pass a long way to go, but it got there, and then like White finished it off, my boy. Finished off the play. That was great, and we needed that. That was, I think that was a clutch basket of the game. We needed it. Needed that. Although the score said we won by like 8 or whatever, that was a close game. And that part, but the reason why I brought up the thing, that feeling, bro. The last 2 games before this one, we beat them by a total of 5 points. So if the last 2 games they played, you didn't have that, still had that feeling like it could go either way. I'm sorry, but I do know how you felt if it was talking about back in the day going to Toronto was hard. And that's when it was like we beat them 7 times in a row. I'm like, is that wow? Then it was like we swept them last year, swept them this year. Well, we swept them after we won last night. Like, that's impressive. And let me wrap this up. Like, share, subscribe, please. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You know, we up in here once again, trying to be more consistent. Bars. I might have a little more to say. The bench, really didn't do nothing too much, but neither did Toronto. I think we had like 19 points off the bench. And I think Toronto had like maybe 22, 24. What I like though, we had 14 boards. I think we was matched for boards. Maybe they had 16 and we have 14. This is the bench. But Hauser had a big three. So White and Peyton was off last night. He was 1 for 7, I believe. But that 1-3, we needed it. So Hauser had a big three. Peyton had a big three. Holiday had a big three, and White, like I said, had the biggest three. You know? But the bench had 14 boards. Hauser had seven boards in like I think 14 minutes. Luke, I need you to do better. I don't know, maybe from you was doing so better. So from the injury, you've been playing not up to par, but we've been playing some difficult teams. But but I don't know if you're trying to get back from like being injured, or whatever, because you was much way physical before you got hurt, right? I need you to get back there because you had 5 boards. No, you had 3 boards. Oh